that we might have seen with
hey now, it's Monday.
Vaccines. This was CDC.
The 9th. You got kids? Y'all have children?
Speculation to fill in the gaps.
Listening to the radio?
We got this question from Christine.
What a fucking mess.
Can you explain why
Yeah, I'm gonna shave later. COVID, what a mess. What a mess. We just, this quandary about trying to go back to normal, and it's like, we're failing. We are failing. Real quick one today, folks, because people just keep dying. Yeah, Bob Saget died. Everybody knows him. It wasn't that he had anything to do with music, but, somebody like Bob Saget is someone everybody knows. He passed away. But we also just now lost James Mtume, and I don't want to be doing this all the time, but this is real life. Every time you turn around, somebody of note is passing, just like this COVID won't go away because we're not handling it well. But I'm showing this album by Kuumba Toudie Heath, who is related to James Mtume. The Heath brothers, he was related to them. But James Mtume was a percussionist, musician, producer, writer. Really, he had superstar qualities, and he's played with a lot of people, from Miles Davis to Stephanie Mills to everyone in between. I looked him up in the Discogs, and I've got a bunch of records that he plays on. I pulled this one because Kawaida is collectible, but also because 3 of the 4 compositions on this album are by him. He plays percussion as well as star players on this album. This is very good conscious jazz, or black jazz, whatever you want to call it. Exploring roots, African roots. Really good album. But I wanted to say rest in peace to him. And quick on, because you like the records, you like to see the records. Keeping it short because my thoughts are just really focused on the fact that COVID is obviously not a hoax. We're 2 years into this, and it's even worse than ever. Omicron, even though it's supposedly less strong, it's moving swiftly, and it's just disrupting everything. So I'm just, again, as I say, I'm kind of steeling myself to just kind of sit tight and put things on hold. There's things I like to do, but every time I go out into, and it's probably because of the cold, but it literally feels like it when I'm out, that it's in the air, and it just feels nasty to me right now. Take care, people. Played this High Tide, and this is an original copy. This is a collectible underground British rock album. Tony Hill, Simon House on violin. There's a bit of a Doors sound in the vocals, but the music is very ragged, tense, and edgy, and really good. The guitar tone on here is very unique. I've had this since probably 1971, when I got lucky and found it as a cutout at a Woolworths. I remember it because I knew I'd found something. I didn't know what it was at the time. It was after school, and it's like I'd saved my lunch money or something. I wanted a record, and how did I get a record? Get a $1 record or a 75-cent record. And this was in the 79-cent pile of cutouts, and I knew I'd found something. This is a great album. I go on Jags, and it was time to listen to some Porcupine Tree. And this is one of the first albums that I heard by Porcupine Tree in the 90s, Signify. It took me a while to get into it. The first thing I liked about Porcupine Tree, actually, on this album were the vocal harmonies. Every Home is Wired. That's really what kind of got me to start listening more closely to the band. I love classical guitar. I do. And I'm glad. I just kind of forget, about music. So I played some 20th century music for the guitar. Ray de la Torre And he does some Debussy on here, and Albanese is a name that you would know if you know guitar music, and Manuel de Falla. I love Nights in the Gardens of Spain by Falla. Segovia, amazing. One of my favorite albums of all time is a Segovia album. I can't quite spot it here. And then I do have it, so I pulled and played almost all of it yesterday. Woodstock. My copy is beat, but I do have it. And this was really cool, kind of a trip back in time, listening to it, thinking about what was happening there. I know several people who went to Woodstock. The Santana and the Sly and the Family Stone performances are my favorites on here. Along those lines, I was just kind of tripping on the past, and I pulled this album. It's a Beautiful Day from 1969. This is a classic. It's such a classic that Deep Purple stole it and wrote Child in Time based on Bombay Calling on this. Thankfully, they have been correct about it and giving credit where credit is due. I also got to see this band, It's a Beautiful Day, live back in the 70s. Back in the day when we were still having those hippie type of concerts, and they were really good. Really good. It was time for some Hosono House, and this is back when he was doing the West Coast copy mixed with Hawaiian music thing. I like Hosono's electronic music the best, but I like Hosono so much that this is really good. And I also noticed how, man, there's times like he sounds like the Eagles. I mean, that good of a pastiche. This is very good. Hosono House. And played another classical. I love all kinds of music, and it's like, you go through periods where you just almost forget. Debussy is one of my favorites. This got played all the way through. I love this interpretation of it too. Bernard Haitink. 3 Images for Orchestra. Dances of the Sacred and the Profane. Debussy, one of my favorites. Yeah, classical music is good for you. It's not so much that I agree. I think that the theory is correct, that music, and particularly certain types of music, really stimulate the brain and intelligence, especially if you play it for infants and children as they're just absorbing, what's going on around them. They have to take it in. I can see where Mozart and Bach and stuff like that would be really good for the brain in development. That's what I'll share today, folks, and I'm coming real correct and real direct, and I'm suffering no fools here, so don't try me, because I stand on facts and the truth about my life. And I see every now and then that I have these jokers coming over here trying to, just cause commotion with mis and disinformation. And I'm just always going to just beat you fuckers down, because you've caused me a lot of personal turmoil and stress by accusing me of things that are not true about me. And I just see where someone tried again. I'm not having it. I've told the story already many times. That's why I'm just keeping it like this. I owe these people no explanation. They are wrong. And so when you hear me say this stuff, go back in my videos if you want to check it out. But it goes on, and it's just an example, I think, of really racism. That's why I bring that up. That was made real clear early on with this harassment, that there was racism involved. So I'm not having it. That's why I bring it up. A lot of times you'll miss it because I delete that shit right away. Shame on these people. Messing with me, an innocent man, regarding what they want to say. Fuck that. yeah, really, it's a bummer that after all this time, I still see attempts. So that's what you hear me talking about when that happens. Okay. To end on a healthy note, I'll again say that I just encourage folks to just use your common sense, because we're not getting common sense from our leaders. Our leaders are stuck on stupid because of the economy and not making good choices based on health, which exacerbates and prolongs the pandemic. So be careful. Be safe.